Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Chakutash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman, and this week's topic is entitled I Must Share This Testimony, right? And I hope after this lesson, brothers have a takeaway of faith, right? Now, where do I begin? Recently, I was rear-ended in a pretty bad accident, but thank the Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, my bodily functions are fine. I was actually in the gym about 2 days later. My mind, my senses are great. And Isaiah 33:6, the Lord kept me stable throughout the whole time. I was talking to the Jake that rear-ended me, and the spirit that was on me at the time was comforting he was a young dude. Comforting him. He wasn't coming in a wicked spirit or nothing, you know. Um, and basically it was out of his control because he slammed on the brakes and the brakes gave out on him. He had like an old car and threw me into another vehicle. And when I went to check on the woman that was in the other vehicle, of course she was trying to win an Oscar. So my spirit, I just walked away from her. Um, but I was even walking home giving praises to the Lord, like the Wadi Shim Yashai, because you didn't take me out. And it- uh, what was ironic too was I was telling brothers in the chat, and I spoke to Apostle Ella Tahar about this too. I shared the same thing with him and the other apostles, Apostle Ella Gabar, Apostle Rhymelab. Was I was in the chat with uh, there's a chat with brothers that's been in a while, like at least 10 years and up. And I said since the start of the year, I noticed that the Lord had trying a lot of brothers that have been in this thing a little bit. And sure enough, I made that statement. A few hours later, boom. And I just got out and, I shared the video with brothers. I was like, well, I guess it's my turn. I really took it cheerfully, honestly. Like, because, and the elder out in Mississippi said this, he's because we understand it. Once you understand it, you see it differently. And leading up to that, telling the whole story so brothers could get the full picture of this testimony. Leading up to that, I was talking with the priest Palau, because we were in a financial strut for about 2 years. A lot of brothers were done. That financial demon was hitting everybody. Then the Lord all of a sudden turned things around, and we started doing well financially. Got a better job. Private business was going great. Whatever brothers were doing, we were really getting blessed. And I spoke to the priest. I said, look, yo, if the Lord is doing this, then we got to save money because you know how the Lord works, bro. He brings you up, he brings you up. Then all of a sudden, boom, he hits you with something that puts you right back down, which is fine. Prosperity and adversity is balance. So sure enough, I had money saved up. Now here's my fault. Here's my fault. And whenever the Lord puts you through something, you always have to examine it. My fault was I went overboard. How did I go overboard? I was prioritizing putting the extra cash towards my credit card, paying down my credit card debt, and I was having a safety net of cash, which is fine. These things are not the issue. The issue was, and it pains me to say it, I prioritized those things before my tights. In a sense that I was paying my tights, I did pay my tights, but there was a week where we didn't go out to camp for New Year's, and just to be balanced with my bills and stuff, I did my show on a separate day, and I went out there and I did Uber and Lyft, and I mean, the Lord blessed me. The Lord blessed me that night. I made the most money that night I ever made. It was $833. That's the best night I ever had. And I said I was gonna go. I couldn't wait to pay my tights Saturday because we I think we skipped 2 weeks without the tights. Um, so sure enough, I get paid. I get my cash. I put credit card. I put towards saving. Saturday comes up, and I think I did some grocery shopping, and I was shy. I was shy paying the tights. I paid my tights, but I didn't pay the full 10% of what I made throughout that week. And I had a nonchalant attitude of, I'll just pay it next week. I'll just pay it next week. When I get my bread, I'll put my full amount this week, right? But This is what the scripture says, Proverbs 3 and 9. It says, honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So I violated that. I shouldn't have put savings and my cash reserves. I shouldn't have prioritized that first. I should always put away my 10% first. And in my mind, I know this is true because every time I always take care of my tithes and take care of the brotherhood, the Lord bless me on whatever I do in terms of financial income. The Lord always does it. Always give me back manifolds. And you brothers know that, right? The Lord loves a cheerful giver. And I have no problem helping brothers out through the week. You know, that's whatever, giving sincerity, right? So I said, okay, next week I'll do it. And I think for whatever reason, something happened to where I didn't fulfill my agreement with the Lord. So that was like 2 weeks in a row where the credit card was paid, my cash reserve was paid, and my tights was put last. And I was like, all I had to do was swing back home and pull some cash out, give my tights, but I was still like, I'll do it next week. And that was off. That was completely off, right? Should have never done that. And I know I shouldn't have never done. I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? It was, like I said, I could have just get some cash, boom, you know. And if the more you make, the more you have to give. It's not like Esau shit where it's like 36. It's only 10% of whatever you make, right? But I was going ham in terms of prepping and try to pay down bills and stuff, right? So week before the crash, guess what your boy did? Same stupid shit again, right? I brought my 10%, but before camp, had to do emergency groceries, and I took part of my tithes to help a brother out, which is not bad. But I had that same attitude of I will just pay it back next week, right? And sure enough, I get in this situation, this jam, and guess what? All that money I had saved up, I had to use it for different particular reason, but it dried up extremely quickly. The insurance covered a lot of things, but there were certain things I had to come out of pocket, and I shall be reimbursed for parts of it. And also, a great sad things too. I had my money tied up in equities. Equities are stocks. Brothers know I invest. You can't just pull your money out immediately. And I was adding to my equities, and I'm like, what the? You can't pull that money out right away. So, as you can see, the situation, the Lord just showed me, like, look, I could put you up like this, and in a second, I could put you fucking down. Now, whenever the Lord puts you through something, brothers, we're all guilty of a lot of things. It's always time to do self-examination. And I had to self-examine. I'm like, why would the Lord do this? And it's evident. If you prioritize the Most High first, you got nothing to worry about. Matthew 22 and 21. They say unto him, Caesar's, Salakia. Read at verse 18, Matthew 22 and 18. But Yahweh shall perceive their wickedness and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, whose is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things that are Caesar. So pay your taxes, brothers. And unto the Most High the things that are the Most High's. And what's the Most High's? Always got to put your 10% of your increase through the week or bi-weekly, however you get paid, to the Most High. Have faith in that. And this is why this is the conclusion I'm going to give you when I say have faith in that. Have faith in that. Because this is the second time I've seen a situation where a brother put complete faith in paying his tithes. And the Lord took care of him, All right. Malachi 3 and 1. Will a man rob the Most High? Yet ye have robbed me. But he's saying, where have you robbed thee? In tithes and in offerings. So, and we also have the situation about the those two individuals that sold the house and didn't give their full contribution towards the church, and the Lord took their life for it. So the Lord could really fuck you up for doing something like that, That's why I said, Duwadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh for showing mercy. Gotta repent. which is come back sorrowful, and you got to respect yourself, which is read back, inspect, look back. So you got to come back and look back and examine yourself and learn from anything Yahweh Hashem Yahushai put you through. So the most after this whole collision thing happened and whatever, this is where the faith kicks in. I had a certain amount of money. I said, look, I know I got this bill coming up. This money will cover in part the bill, and then that two angels, a right hand angel and a left hand angel starts whispering in your ear, right? Whenever it comes to situation, one was saying, hold the money because you need it for the bills. You need it for the bills. You're gonna put your account in negative because all this shit done popped up. And another angel said, have faith. Give to the Lord. If you could put your money in a motherfucking stock market, which is controlled by Esau, and you think you're gonna get a certain percent of increase returned, right? How you not gonna have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? So I said, fuck it. Fuck it. You know? I'm gonna give the Titans full. I'm already gonna expect the overdraft. So I did that. I gave it. I said, fuck it, boom. You know? And whenever I get stable again, I'll give back whatever I missed or whatever. Just give, right? So I did that Saturday. Of course, my shit was damn near. I had enough to fill up the tank, and I said, you know what? I can't go hard because I'm driving a rental, but I'm gonna go do Lyft. I'm gonna go work, and I'll just ask my parents. The reason being is me personally, brothers. When I'm in a situation, and this is just me, you know, I try to use a brotherhood as the last resort, you know, because when I borrow, I want to pay back, and when I borrow my parents, it's 0% interest, right? So I could just always pay them back, and I don't want to use my credit card. Oh, that's another thing too. My credit card is locked up because I guess the credit card that I have, they're switching from Visa to Master, so I couldn't quickly access it. So I'm putting everything together like, yo, the Lord is really setting everything up on a strictly faith-based thing right now. So I couldn't use my card. I have to call the credit card up so they could try to fix that situation. And I was dried up, and then I reached out to my parents, and which they normally have it, but guess what? They're on vacation right now. And when they're on vacation, they ain't saving. So I called my mom. I said, Mom, look, don't worry about it. You know, the reason I reached out to you is because you know what I'm a part of and stuff. It's like the reason I reached out to you was because I like to pay money back when I borrow. You know, and again, if brothers are in the gym, look, do what you got to do. You know, I'm not saying you got to be like me. This is me personally. This is just how I am. So my mom says, well, you got your brothers, and that's what they're for. So as I'm working, I get a call. Actually, I get a message. It's Elder Kazak out of Mississippi. Elder Kazak out of Mississippi. He's trying to call me, and I think WhatsApp was muted, so I didn't get a chance to get back to him. So as I'm driving, I'm doing the ride share working. I said, I give him a call, and then I tell him, actually I leave him a voice note. I tell him like, Salaki, I missed your call, but when I get a chance, I'll be out there, right? I'll give you a call back. And I didn't know what the brother was calling about. And then, I finally get in contact with him. He said, look, a sister had heard your situation, and she wanted to help you. I said, okay, that's beautiful. And, he said, what you want to do, Cash App or Zelle? I said, Zelle, because, Cash App will take an enormous fee. And I told the brother, I don't want to be pushy, but if you could expedite the process, it'll be great because they're gonna, this creditor, they're gonna take whatever they gotta take to pay this bill. Is gonna send my account an overdraft. And the whole time I'm like, I'm gonna have faith in the Lord. Something, just have faith. This is the book of Psalms 29:2. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto His name. Give. How do you give to the Lord? Your tithes, your offerings. That's how you give back. Now look, as the apostle of Tahar said, there's not the apostles, the elders. They don't got some secret tunnel that or something to send a check up to the Lord Himself. Nah, but they use it, man. They use it. The scriptures tell you, muzzle not the ox that treadeth the corn, right? So, meaning, the apostles paved the way for us. They gave us something greater. As the apostle Paul said, I gave you all these spiritual blessings. It's only right that we could reap your carnal. So that's how you give. You help out the Akim to Sadakim that's do this work. The apostles, everybody. You help brothers out, right? That's how you give the glory unto the Lord, of course, doing the lessons, praising His name. And you got to do that in full. So sure enough, I wake up and I'm like, well, my account is gonna be in negative. So, and whatever the sister said is gonna be helpful. And I called the brother. I was like, "What's the sister's name?" So I could put a blessing on her. And I did. And sure enough, I wake up and the sister sent more than enough, more than enough to cover the rent for more than enough to cover the deposit. To use the vehicle, the insurance I had to come out of pocket for the vehicle, the bill I had due today, and my groceries, man. So that's a testimony right there, brothers. I just gave. I said, fuck it. Let me leave it all in the hands of the Lord. Repented of what I did. As I apologize to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai first and foremost, and the Yakim, and not prioritizing what I should prioritize first. And the Lord showed mercy, man. So I was like, man, I gotta do this testimony because it's not the first time I've seen this situation, and it's not about how much you give. It's again given in sincerity, because the lady talked about that pence. She gave a pence, and that's what the Lord looks at most in terms of offering to the Most High. Because I remember them brothers out there in Philly, which where I started at. They came through in a situation where they were down bad, and I seen one of the brothers. He didn't give some super extravagant amount, but he gave his last in sincerity. And when I told you the Lord blessed them brothers after that, the Lord blessed them, man. So that's hey man, that's a testimony I definitely had to just record and put it, because not that I was super stressed in the sense of like, damn, but it was just like shit, man. Like, I gotta come up with something, And the last thing I wanted to do was go to the brothers, especially knowing why that I'm going through this. I'm like, fuck it, I'd rather work. I'd rather just get hit with the feet till I get paid. Fuck it, And sure enough, boom, man. So Brakatha Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for that. The water sister, helping out, definitely put blessings up on you, everybody in the camp, everybody that helps out with each other and stuff. And yeah, man, I think that's just a great testimony of having faith in the Lord. Which I gotta say this, because this was a lesson I was thinking about too before the situation happened. And I'll just say this. I was gonna call the lesson, what we're gonna do when all hell break loose. What to do when all hell break loose. And the simple answer is just have faith. Just have faith. All these little jams and predicaments and things leading up to Jacob's trouble that we're going through is really fortifying our minds in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, showing us what could be done if you just believe in him. Have complete trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Proverbs 3:5. And he will guide your steps, or even other people's steps, whether in the truth or not, to protect you. Psalms 34:7. The angels of the Lord encampeth around those that fear him. So as we approach these crazy times, brothers, have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai no matter what. Put Yahweh Bashim Yahushai first, and he will always take and guide you in the right path. All right, with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to the Dakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.